So you're considering buying the wolfkinggt GT, but you're unsure if you should commit and hit the buy button. Well, don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of whether you should or shouldn't buy it. Now, the wolfkinggt GT is a brutally efficient addition to the ultra performance scooter market, and along with the NAMI Burn-e is one of our favourite scooters, but there are some drawbacks that you should be aware of. I've been testing the GT for 4 months now, and I've summarised my findings into 22 reasons for and 5 reasons against buying the wolfkinggt GT. So without further ado, let's jump in. Although it may look similar to the original wolfking, the new and much improved GT ups the ante. It has more powerful motors and a higher top speed, a much larger battery and a longer range, better controllers and more ergonomic thumb throttle, improved water resistance ratings, a more effective lighting setup, advanced display and scooter controls, and self-healing tyres. Its handlebars are also much taller and wider than those on the original wolfking. Compared to similar scooters, the GT is competitively priced. Take the NAMI Burn-e and Dualtron Thunder 2 for instance. These models retail for between $4,300 and $4,800, yet the King GT is significantly less. Spurred on by dual 72 volt 2000 watt motors and a pair of 50 amp sine wave controllers, the GT wears the crown like the regal king that it is when it comes to top speed and acceleration among similarly priced competitors. The GT can hit 15 miles per hour in a mere 1.7 seconds and 25 miles per hour in just 3 seconds flat. This matches the NAMI Burn-e for pace and is enough to dispatch not only the entirety of its closest Dualtron rivals, including the Dualtron Thunder 2, Ultra 2 and the Storm, but also the original wolfking. Unlike the original King and other models like the Dualtron Thunder 2, the GT's throttle response isn't jerky and doesn't leap out in front of you. This is because the King GT along with the Warrior GT are the first 2 wolf scooters to utilise sine wave controllers. So instead of power being pulled erratically through square wave controllers, the sine wave ones pull it in a much smoother motion, making the GT far more enjoyable to ride. Top tip, there's one thing that we changed to make the GT more comfortable, and that was the position of the thumb throttle. It's a great addition, of course, being far more comfortable than its predecessor's finger throttle counterpart, but it arrives a little too low out of the box. I'm 6 foot tall and have normal size hands for a guy of my size, but the throttle was slightly out of reach, so I found that loosening the throttle and rotating it upwards made it far easier to use. There are 6 riding modes to choose from, including Eco, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So for all modes you can engage either one or both of the motors. By controlling and capping the torque available, you can ease into the ride, and this helps to build confidence by progressing through the different speeds at your own pace. The enormous 72 volt 35 amp battery is capable of keeping the wheels rolling for up to 70 miles off a single charge if you ride conservatively. Under realistic conditions where you let the throttle rip, you can expect between 53 and 55 miles, making it a top performer in its class. Now, this one is pretty simple, it doesn't need that much explaining. It is a certified hill eating machine. No incline is too steep for the GT, making it great if you live in challenging hilly areas. True to the well-established blueprint of the Wolf line, the King GT sports dual hydraulic brakes. Apart from being strong, the 160mm rotors are 3mm thick, making them extremely durable since they aren't prone to bending or warping. Under our certified test, the brakes will bring you to a stop in 3 meters from 15 miles per hour, and this is in line with the lion's share of scooters in its niche. It's equally comfortable with off-road environments as it is on. No matter where you want to ride or how you want to ride, the GT is primed for anything you can throw its way. Measuring 29.5 inches in length, the GT's handlebars are far wider than any others that we've reviewed. Predictably, the huge handlebars afford fantastic control, and no other scooter comes close to the GT's levels of control. There's an additional level of reassurance that you get from having a dual stem, which leads to a heavier front end that can't be matched by scooters that have single stems, especially when you're ripping at top speeds. Unlike other ultra performance scooters, I'm looking at you Dualtron Thunder 2, the degree of rotation of the handlebars and steering column is restricted, meaning that there's no risk of jackknifing. Like the handlebars, the frame is absolutely huge, plus it's available in 2 colours. With a novel midnight black and red colour scheme complementing the classic wolfkinggt, the GT offers something for everyone. The GT sports a wide and grippy deck that's identical to that of the original model. Coated in a grippy, easy to clean rubber, it's over 20 inches long and 9 inches wide, meaning there's ample room for even the largest of riders. The end caps, which are the bottom sections of the front forks that connect the suspension to the tyre, are no longer cast like on the original King, but instead forged. This has huge benefits, particularly where durability is concerned. Forging is mechanically stronger than casting because it isn't vulnerable to shrinkage or cavities. In one test, forged parts had a 26% higher tensile strength and a 37% higher fatigue strength, meaning that the end caps are more robust and will last longer than their casted counterparts. Tubeless and puncture proof, the tyres protect you from potential flats, making maintenance light work. While the GT shares the same suspension as the rest of the Wolf lineup, the rear springs are boxed in to protect them from the elements. The placement of the controller box on the stem acts as a natural heatsink, plus the reallocation of the scooter's controllers from the deck to the stem enables more battery space, hence the titanic size of the GT's 35 amp battery versus the original King's, which was 28 amps. The GT introduces a next generation TFT Display for, you guessed it, a whole new level of customized performance. Equipped with an anti-glare technology and intuitive design, the display is as easy to use as it is to read, even in direct sunlight. Handily, the GT comes with a USB charging port, meaning you can charge your devices on the go. The GT flaunts the iconic dual headlights of the Wolf range, as well as an alluring array of underdeck lights and turn signals. Cooler still is that because the deck lights are wired into the button on the handlebars, everything turns on at once. This is a refreshing change from previous Wolf models where one button controlled the headlight and tail light, with a separate button located on the deck controlling the deck LEDs. Okay, so those are the reasons for buying the wolfkinggt GT. Now let's take a look at the reasons against. While the folding mechanism does its job of keeping the stem securely locked into place, there's no getting around the fact that it is cumbersome. It's also one of the only scooters that gets longer when you fold it by a whopping 11.5 inches. When you fold the scooter, nothing stops the kick plate from colliding with the TFT display and potentially damaging it. While it's not uncommon for ultra performance scooters to weigh high up on the scales, the GT is the third heaviest scooter that we have ever reviewed. Sadly, you can't adjust the suspension to fit your unique preferences, and as a result, its suspension system is beginning to fall behind the competition, especially when compared to models like the NAMI Burn-e, which enable easy rebound adjustment. While the smoked out tail light looks cool, it does mean that the brake light and turn signals aren't quite as noticeable. So what do you think about the wolfkinggt GT? Are there any other points that you would have added to the list? If so, let me know in the comments. Now, for those of you that would like to know what other scooters I recommend as alternatives, or if you want to see our full performance test, you can watch our full review, which I've linked to in the description below. If you're ready to hit the buy button, you can either scan this QR code or click the links in the description. And finally, if you found value from this video, do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe to become an electric scooter insider. Your support is appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.